adventurers!
Good morning, y'all.
And welcome to Vancouver Island, officially the ugliest island in the world.
Yeah, if you're looking for like epic natural beauty and amazing views, just don't come here. Don't do it. Vancouver Island sits at the southwest corner of Canada. The landscape is super diverse and it is home to some of the tallest trees in the world, with some over 310 feet tall and over 1,000 years old. The island is just covered in magical forest land as far as the eye can see. You'll come across so many majestic waterfalls, and of course there's just so much wildlife on this island to see. Whoa, I just looked down. That's scary. Beautiful, but scary.
If you guys have been following along, then you know that we picked up ourselves a brand new little home on wheels. It's this adorable 1972 camper van named Olive.
Yeah, and you can check out our previous video for a closer look at her. But for now, we've officially hit the road and we are going to see as much of this island as we can.
For our first stop on our epic Vancouver Island road trip, we have come to Elk Falls Provincial Park, which is about halfway up the island, just inland from the town of Campbell River. They say that there is a suspension bridge overlooking a waterfall. And by suspension bridge, I mean it's gonna be suspended, it's gonna sway, it's gonna be horrifying, but it's gonna have really pretty views, I think. I can hear the waterfall up ahead, so let's go see the sights and try not to have a panic attack. Bridge, but I didn't quite realize it was completely see-through and just how high up. Okay, all right. No. This is giving me some like serious anxiety thinking back to when we did our bungee jumping, which was close by here in Canada about this time last year.
It was about this high off the ground too.
Why? Why do humans just love building high up, horrible, terrifying things?
Because we gotta get from this spot to that spot.
I mean, the views are insane though. It's incredible.
You could plan to spend the entire day in this park because there are hiking trails all over it, and they take you through some absolutely magically beautiful scenery with some of the biggest trees we've ever seen. Although we have seen the redwoods in California, they are bigger, but these ones are still very grand. There's just so much lush vegetation. There's moss growing on everything, so many different types of greenery. The trees are just like completely bare and straight until the top, and then they just like shoot out in every direction with these moss-covered branches.
Oh my God, even the leaves are bigger than anything I've ever seen. Look at this.
Holy cow.
It's the size of my head.
Why don't you just leave this alone?
Why don't you just leave me alone forever? Okay.
We are going to be taking a Zodiac boat, and this is the required attire. This is a little float suit, so if you fall overboard for some reason, this is supposed to keep you afloat. Plus, it keeps you very, very warm because it's freaking freezing out there. How do I look? Do I look ready?
Red marshmallow man.
Let's go. We've officially had our first whale sighting. Not just one whale, it's like a whole family of them. They are way over there just playing around, shooting air out of their blowhole. It's magical.
Way more magical than when you shoot air out of your blowhole.
Good one. Well, that was pretty freaking sweet. They came right up to the boat.
We got so much freaking tail right then.
You've been holding on to these.
I know.
Yo, there's a school of about 50 dolphin over there, and one of them just started shooting straight up out of the water.
But he would, at the very end, do a barrel roll and slap himself down into the water.
It's just plain cute.
They're so silly looking. made it.
You look great, kid.
My crotch is like way down to my knees. But this thing did the trick. Should we invest in a couple of these?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, that was pretty dang epic. I
Yeah.
think we really lucked out on that tour.
Yeah, I think that was the last Zodiac tour of the season, and we were the only ones out on the water.
We had all the whales and dolphin all to ourselves. It was so cool.
Plus we had our NASA spacesuits on.
Exactly, which helped a ton. And we're just getting started on the island, y'all.
We got so much more to see.
Let's go.
So
See it.
stop dancing and let's go.
Okay.
Or you can keep dancing, but we need to go. Okay, never mind. I changed my mind. Stop. Well, y'all, we got a little bit of a problem. Why, oh why do we take out vintage vehicles? Why do we do this to ourselves?
Everyone behind your screen right now is screaming at us. We've told you for so many years, stop doing this.
We'll never stop, dang it. Well, we started heading further west because there's still so much more of Vancouver Island to see, but then tragedy struck. The oil light came on. That means the oil pressure is low and there's a big problem. You guys saw in our previous video that Olive did have a little bit of an oil leak, but the guys who rented it to us were like, it's probably okay. And then we were also like, it's probably okay. But it turns out it was not okay. And while we were on the road, Olive started to take a big old oil dump. But we've been communicating with the people who own the van, and they are going to bring us another van. They have another one that's a little bit newer than this.
So, problem solved and an upgrade.
Yeah. Well, I guess we are officially stranded in Canada. Luckily, we had the foresight to pick up an eSIM before we got into Canada. So that means we were able to communicate with the rental company and get this whole van situation sorted. And we've just been using this as a little opportunity to get some work done. Maybe actually book some stuff.
Yeah, so what could have been your absolute worst travel nightmare has become like a nice...
Excuse you.
Oh. It has become a very pleasant work sesh by the sea.
As it happens, we used Airalo to get our eSIM, and they are actually sponsoring today's video, and right now I am feeling very, very extra happy about that. We've traveled all over the world, and it's always been a huge chore worrying about having cell signal. When we first started traveling, we tried going without it, but we were always just wasting time trying to find reliable Wi-Fi, and we always just felt safer knowing that we had data in case we needed to contact someone, get ourselves out of a jam in case we needed maps, or in case we got stranded in a camper van in a foreign country, you know, stuff like that. But with eSIMs from Airalo, you can download and install a digital data pack from 200 plus countries and regions and be connected anywhere in the world the second you land. It's stupidly easy. We just downloaded the Airalo app, chose a data plan, then installed our eSIM with a few clicks. The whole thing literally took like less than 5 minutes and boom, we had data. You can install Airalo today and use it wherever you travel to, and you can use our handy code EndlessAdventure3 to get $3 off your first eSIM, or just go to the link that's on the screen right now. Well, when we started this day, I did not anticipate spending the entirety of it in this random parking lot. It's really not a nice parking lot either. It's full of potholes that are full of water and a lot of strange people. Well, it's been hours now, and I guess they had a little bit of trouble getting everything sorted to get the other van down here, but they've assured us that they're about 10 minutes out, so they should be pulling up any minute.
Goldie to the rescue.
Oh yeah, we're trading in Olive for Goldie. Goldie to the rescue, huh?
Oh my gosh, we're both wearing gold in celebration.
Yeah, so Goldie is a different type of vintage. She's from the 80s. A little bit more modern, but still not modern at all. But a very kind of similar yet different layout, huh?
Yeah, she's got some more amenities and some less amenities.
Heater, power
Check.
steering.
Check.
She's got the pop top roof.
Even poppier than Olive's was, but she doesn't have a refrigerator.
Oh yeah.
Just a cooler.
All right, onward.
Okay,
We didn't want to have to drive at night, but here we are.
into the night.
We're gonna bump some Betty Who, which seems appropriate for this type of vehicle.
Yeah, she's not from the 80s, but she sounds very 80s.
Well, this road trip hasn't been off to the best of start, but we are back at it. We've got it all sorted out. We've got a new rig. We're not gonna have any more breakdowns, and it's nothing but us in the open road. Speaking of the open road, our plan is to head further west into the island of Vancouver Island.
Good one.
To do that, you take Highway 4, which connects the east part of the island to the west part of the island. It takes a few hours to traverse all the way over to the west coast, but it ultimately ends at the picturesque coastal town of Tofino, which is our ultimate destination for today. We are here in October, which means we are just in time for the leaves to start changing, so that means there's a bunch of greenery everywhere, but within that greenery, you'll see little dots of yellows and reds, and some spots where the green is completely gone and the fall colors are just in like full swing. RVing is very, very popular on the island, so as you drive around, you're gonna see a bunch of really new rigs, you'll see a bunch of old vintage classic rigs like what we're driving. You're also gonna find a lot of RV parks, and some of them do close for the season, but a lot of them seem to stay open. So even in the dead of winter, you can come and do an epic RV road trip on Vancouver Island.
And also, if you're wondering why I have a washcloth in my lap, it's because my seatbelt fell out the door last night and got rained on, so it is sopping wet.
But the plus side is, we do have heat.
We have heat, we have lovely views, we're just cruising.
Well, Vancouver Island has suddenly gotten just incredibly, epically beautiful.
It's like a mystical rainforest in the middle, y'all. We started in the sun. I think we're gonna end in the sun at the beach, but in the middle, it's just moody and misty.
So yeah, we're properly traveling through a mountain range now to get to the western part of the island, and I guess the weather just gets trapped there because all of a sudden it just got rainy and wet, but it is really setting the mood. It's making it really cool. But man, Goldie is handling these mountain grades like a champ. We're going uphill, we've got a bunch of steep grades downhill.
But I am absolutely loving these views. There's these huge, tall pine trees jutting out of these epic rock faces. There's rivers, there's lakes, there's mist going through the mountains.
Highway 4 is also known as the Pacific Rim Highway. So this is actually where the kaiju spawn in the water and then pop out and appear, and then the humans fight them in their giant mech suits, right?
Yeah, science lesson. That's how it went down. Or did I say science? I meant history.
But we are just about to the southern part of Tofino. Basically, we should hit the coast. The weather should clear up. It's gonna be freaking sweet. Maybe there'll be some fish and chips in our future.
Oh my gosh, some sort of seafood. We gotta get in on it.
Definitely. Well, y'all, we've gotten kind of tired of van life, living the travel life, so I think we're gonna call it quits and just become mailmen. What do you think?
Sounds good to me. A fresh start.
You guys think I'm lying, but that is exactly what we're doing. We are going to become mailmen today. Obviously, there are no roads out here, so a typical mail truck is not gonna cut it. So we're gonna have to take a very special mode of transportation. Our mail truck has arrived, but for some reason this one has wings on it. Oh man, we have hooked up with Tofino Air, and it turns out that they contract out to deliver mail to islands out here in the middle of freaking nowhere. All right, here's the mail for delivery.
Here I come.
I got one.
First order of business is firing you. You are not helpful, sir.
Someone's got to capture it.
Capture the magic.
How you feeling back there? You ready to become a mail woman?
If this is how mail was always delivered, I think a lot more people would become mail persons.
Yeah, because this is freaking awesome.
It's amazing.
So I'm sitting up in the front. Check this out. Yes, I'm going to be flying the plane today, actually. Yeah, believe it or not, I have my pilot's license.
No, don't you dare touch anything up there, sir.
No, Ryan is going to be flying us today.
Yeah.
I have much more faith in him than me. Although I have flown a plane before. I took one off and landed one time.
Did you?
Yeah. Well, that was pretty freaking nuts.
That was so beautiful. We saw another whale. Oh my God, there's like snow-capped peaks off in the distance. Definitely worth it. That was so cool.
Yeah, this is easily one of my favorite plane rides we've ever done.
Ever. All right, so Tofino Air comes here and drops off the mail, and then I think takes any returns back to the mainland, or the main island. Quite a different way of life than we're used to in rural Missouri or rural Texas.
All right, I'm actually gonna go get some packages because I feel bad making you do all the work.
I'm the captain now.
Well, can recommend. That is one unique way to see the islands around Tofino, huh?
It was so dang pretty. I think the only flight we've been on that might rival it is that one we took in Alaska, the helicopter ride.
Yeah, but
Otherwise,
this was pretty freaking cool.
The views were stunning. We had it all to ourselves. We got to help out a little bit.
He actually spotted a whale, and right as I put my camera at him, the whale blows out his blowhole. It was freaking cool. But man, you can tell he has done this many, many times. He just shuts the engine off as it's like floating into the dock, and it just drifts right into the perfect spot. He hops out, ties it up.
It's really cool when we do these really intimate flights where you can see the pilot doing everything. It just makes you appreciate everything that goes into flying. We just popped into this amazing seaside restaurant called Shelter. And y'all, when in Canada, you gotta get a Caesar. So if you don't know what this is, it's a Canadian Bloody Mary, essentially, right? Are those fighting words to call it a Bloody Mary?
It's a Bloody Caesar.
Yeah, Bloody Caesar. So it's peppercorn-infused vodka with Clamato juice, and Eric stuck with the classic, which came with pickled green bean and olives, and it's all got celery salt around the rim.
Unfortunately, the patio is closed, but we have a table right next to the water, so it is very sweet. There's so much going on with this thing. Oh my God. That is so salty. That might be one of the saltiest things I've ever eaten, aside from that licorice I tried in Sweden one time. It's like eating baking soda. Caesar, cheers.
Oh my gosh. To Canada. Well, we scored. Look at this amazing fish and chips here, y'all. So this is lingcod that is deep fried, obviously. Oh gosh. But it's so big, so hefty, so perfectly fried and golden. Get some tartar sauce on there.
Get some of that vinegar.
And a little vinegar. And then it's just perfectly flaky in there, perfectly deep fried. It's nice and hot. Got some nice seasoning on the top.
We just love getting fish and chips when you're sitting looking at the coast where the fish came from.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Yes.
I'm actually gonna eat this. Give me this.
Yeah. I'm eating a salmon and kale bowl.
She's just trying to be healthier because we've been eating like pigs.
Like garbage.
Well, we scored with this campsite, huh? So that's where we're chilling, and it is right on the beach. Pretty cool, huh?
This is my office for the day, y'all.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Not bad, huh?
No.
Let me adjust the exposure so you can actually see it.
Oh, yeah. We somehow scored with yet another beautiful sunny day here on the island. Tomorrow there is a, what is it called? Like an atmospheric river coming through, and it's supposed to like flood and be crazy. So we're gonna soak up the sun tonight and then get the heck out of here tomorrow.
This is the Bella Pacifica Campground. It has this row of beachfront campsites, and then when you zoom out, this is actually Mackenzie Beach that it sits on. All along the coast, there's actually a bunch of little resorts and campgrounds and things like that, but I think this is the right way to do it. Plus, there are just so many cute little puppies roaming around. I told you guys there were adorable puppies on this beach. Here they are. What's your name? What's your name?
Well, if you've ever thought about doing van life, don't. Y'all, look at this. This is a nightmare.
You do look like you're in a horror movie or something.
Yeah, it's freezing outside. By the way, we forgot to leave the heater on in here. We don't want to pop the top because I feel like it just sucks all the heat away from down here. So now I have to figure out where to put all this so that we can turn this into a bed.
And it's a lot more dim in here than it was in the green camper van. It just looks really dingy.
I really miss Olive. She had, I mean, really bright LED lights, but at least you could see everything. I feel like she had more space somehow, like better utilization of storage than this camper van does. But
I'm just gonna sit over here. You get this going.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
I will take care of it. And I did it. It was actually secret genius because now I'm all toasty from running around trying to squanch all these sheets into the corners.
Yeah, well, I've warmed up just watching you.
Well, you also have a heater between your legs.
Oh yeah, that's true.
This definitely makes me appreciate RV life. Clementine might be the perfect rig.
Well, it's raining, y'all. It's actually been raining all night. It's gonna be raining all day, I think. We had to put this towel here because there's a certain way that the water gets into this vent here and it drips down and makes a ding sound right where my head is, where I'm sleeping, and I just could not stand it, so that kind of solved it. Everyone was out and about till sunset yesterday because they knew that it was going to be the last good day for a while. There's no actual tanks on this thing, I don't think, so power is the only thing we really have to worry about unhooking before we leave. And done. We just found out you can pull this from the inside. They make stowing that away a lot easier. Nice job. Well, I'm ready to go. How about you?
Born ready. Yes, let's do it.
Yeah, it has just gotten completely and utterly miserable out of here. The place is so small, it's so cold. We're kind of over it.
Yeah, we're all wet and dirty now, but that's okay. That's van life, right?
Yeah, and now we're gonna go back to Airbnb life. How's that sound?
Yay, showers.
Well, just like that, our time with Goldie is coming to an end, as is our time on Vancouver Island. We were a little nervous this whole little drive because we weren't sure if the ferry was going to be running because, as you guys have seen, the weather is freaking awful today. But I think it's running, right?
It appears to be. Their site doesn't say anything about delays or cancellations, so the only issue is that we are just in this sweet spot where we can maybe barely make the next ferry. Otherwise, we have to wait hours until the one in the evening.
Yeah, so we're kind of hauling ass right now.
Yeah, carefully, not speeding or anything, but we're trying to make it. Sad news. We rushed to get here and turns out the ferry's canceled even though we've been waiting for like an hour now. They kept saying it was delayed and now
that sucks.
I don't know what that means or where we go. Everyone's just running out of here, so I don't know.
Yeah, they ran out like there was a bomb threat or something. And just like that, we are back in a cab, heading to another terminal.
2 campers, 2 taxis, 2 ferries. 2 legit.
Down the chute we go. Well, I'm happy to say that the ferry ride was a success.
We made it. I didn't throw up. It didn't capsize. All good things.
But as you can see, we have made it to the airport for the next leg of our adventure. You guys are going to have to just wait and see what's coming up for that. It's something we never thought we'd do, something we've always wanted to do, and something we probably shouldn't do. But we enjoyed our time on Vancouver Island. It is definitely worth exploring. If you're going to do the camper van, you know, limit it to maybe 2-3 days.
Maybe don't do a whole week was a lot.
It was a small space.
It's a small space with 2 people. If you're alone or just with a pupper or something, I think it would be a lot more manageable.
But one of the things we loved about it is just that it was so small and nimble. It could go anywhere. It could fit into any parking spot.
Any parking spot. I could parallel park it with no problems.
Yeah, it was amazing. We just scratched the surface of Vancouver Island, obviously, but there's a bunch of places that we weren't able to get to or that we weren't able to film that we're going to put in the description below, so definitely check those out. You can create your own custom itinerary or redo what we did in Vancouver Island. Is that a good recap? I don't know.
I think that was a good recap. We went against Destiny's Child's wishes and chased waterfalls. We chased tail and we bagged a bunch of tail. Whale tail, obviously.
How do you come up with all this stuff?
I don't know. I guess off to the next adventure. Goodbye, adventurers.
We'll see you on the road.